What's up, everybody? Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 77 of Award Season Review Season 3. 97 reviews coming at you in 97 days, covering many of the films contending for awards recognition this season. Now, as some of the films I am reviewing here may still be in theaters or be awaiting a theatrical re-release or its initial release, all the statistical information I am providing to you is current within 7 days. This includes nominations, predictions, wins, box office, critical response, and as always, these reviews are spoiler-free. Also, make sure you check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for lots of great award season coverage, including the Where Can I Watch It Spreadsheet 2024 edition, as well as my new series of short daily videos where I predict who will win the Oscars. So, today we are wrapping up our 11th theme week. This was our fun one because we took a mini break from the major awards flicks, and we take a look at some of those that have been deemed the worst of the year. Yes, we are looking at those films that were nominated for at least one or more Razzie Award, the Golden Raspberries. And today, well, we have another film in our set that had potential major awards recognition, like how we started out the week, as we take a look at Disney Pictures' Mufasa, The Lion King. Released in December of 2024, the film was written by Jeff Nathanson and directed by Barry Jenkins. The film, still in theaters, has so far made $236,206,192 at the domestic box office and an additional $435,900,000 at the international box office for a worldwide total of $671,106,192. Critically, the film falls on both the rotten and the fresh sides, with 210 critic reviews giving the film a 58% rating, but over 5,000 audience reviews give the film a higher 89% on the popcorn meter. Award season-wise, the film is currently nominated for one Razzie Award, Worst Prequel, Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel. However, on the more positive side, some of the other nods worth highlighting are Outstanding Achievement in Sound Editing by the Motion Picture Sound Editors, and 3 nods by the Visual Effects Society for Outstanding Visual Effects in a Photoreal Feature, Outstanding Character in a Photoreal Feature, and the Emerging Technology Award for Real-Time Interactive Filmmaking from Stage to Post. Also, the film was shortlisted for 2 Academy Awards. Not surprising, one was the Best Visual Effects. And the also was for the song Tell Me It's You, written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, which was shortlisted for Best Original Song. So, Mufasa the Lion King falls into the prequel of the prequel rip-off sequel reimagining category. We are going to see how Mufasa became the ruler that he grew up to be before giving us the Lion King of my generation's youth, Simba. The story is actually told in flashback by Rafiki, voiced by John Connie, telling Simba's daughter Kiara, voiced by Blue Ivy Carter, the story of her grandfather, while having comedic interludes by Timon, voiced again by Billy Eichner, and Pumbaa, voiced again by Seth Rogen. Jump back when Mufasa, voiced as a cub by Braylon and Brielle Rankins, briefly before the role is taken over by Aaron Pierre. He was a young cub and alongside his parents was looking for a magical place called Malele. In the midst of a storm, however, a flood sweeps Mufasa away from his parents, and he is found by Taka, voiced as a cub by Theo Somalu, and then as an adult by Calvin Harrison Jr., and his family. Now, Taka is the prince of the Lion Pride, led by his father, Obasi, voiced by Lenny James, who, through a series of, let's say, not-so-warm and cuddly events, allows Mufasa to be adopted by the Pride. As Mufasa and Taka grow, they become closer than brothers. It's almost as if they've been brothers their whole life, and nothing can tear them asunder except for Sarabi, voiced by Tiffany Boone, and her faithful scout Zazu, not causing the rift. Sarabi does. And Zazu the Hornbill, voiced by Preston Nyman. Now, this causes a little friction between the two brothers because they both have feelings for Sarabi, and they are both also helping Masi's Pride deal with the constant threat of another pride of lions called the Outsiders, a pride of lions with white fur who have been ostracized, which is led by Kyros, voiced by Mads Mikkelsen, who has his own reasons for tracking down Mufasa and the other pride. That, for want of spoilers, I will leave out. Now, as we follow Obasi's Pride and the Outsiders as both seek to find Malele, there will be attacks and fights and races and various other pursuits as we try to see who will survive the journey. Now, we will ultimately see what happens to Taka earning his name change. There's a mini spoiler in there. I'm sure you figured that one out. And other events that lead to the eventual origin story of Simba that we have known and loved for the last 30 years or so. Look, I'm going to be blunt, blunter than I normally am with these reviews. When I heard that this film was announced, I really wasn't sure why we needed it. And like many of the other origin stories or remake stories we've gotten from Disney, I'm sorry, it's really feeling a little cash grabby. Honestly, the only reimagined origin story or reimagining that I've enjoyed, and we've had all these live action films come out that have really not hit. I mean, aside from Emma Stone's turn as Cruella, I mean, I'm digressing here, but the others just don't work for me. Now, this film especially, it follows many of the same story beats and premises of the original, which makes Nathanson's script mediocre at best. The film drags and makes an almost 2 hour runtime feel longer. The songs, unfortunately, they're not memorable, and there isn't really one that sits with you. And there's even one song by Mads Mikkelsen, Bye Bye, that was cringeworthy at times, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now, the vocal performances by the cast, they're fine. It's nothing to write home about. Again, it's the frustration that I have with the script. Also, given that we know these characters, and this is a general problem that we have with prequels, we know what is destined to happen to certain characters, so when you attempt to put them in jeopardy, it's very underwhelming to say the least. There's no stakes for them. Also, I would have been fine with the flashback structure if we had the setup with Kiara, Timon, Pumbaa, Rafiki, and then we heard the whole story and then had a cap. But, minor spoiler, we have constant jumps back and forth as the story's being told to give Timon, Pumbaa, and Kiara commentary. I mean, giving Eichner, Rogan, and Carter respectively more to do, but it jolts you out of the story and it's a bit jarring. Not that it's engaging that much anyway. Here's the one thing that I liked about the film is what it got recognized by the Visual Effects Society for. It's the visuals. They are stunning. The way that they have improved on the images, it's beautiful. You just wish you had more substance to go with the style. Now, when Jon Favreau's 2019 Lion King remake came out, there was a lot of criticism about the animation and the stylings of the characters. So a lot of that is course corrected here. So bravo to that team. I'm kind of surprised that it didn't pick up the Oscar nod. Although for visual effects, there are a lot of strong contenders this year. But in this one, they did a great job to capture the essence of these anthropomorphized animals. In all, do I agree with its Razzie nod? Well, for this category, yes, I do. It was not a great origin story. It was not a great prequel. It really added nothing to the franchise for me. Maybe I have too high of an expectation for Disney at this point. This one didn't help. For me, Mufasa the Lion King is a low 2-star film. One for an attempted story, and one for the visual effects. Now, if you would like to catch Mufasa the Lion King, it is still playing in some theaters across the country and will be available for digital rental and purchase as of February 18th. There is no information on the film's Disney Plus streaming date quite yet. All right, so there we have it. 77 films down, 20 reviews left to go. We have reached the end of Razzie Week, and before I get to the short films and the last batch of nominated flicks, I'm going to have one week where I talk about those award season films that many, and in some cases myself, believe were snubbed this year. Yes, we're going to talk Oscar snubs. As always, if you like what you heard here, please click the subscribe button, like the video, share the video, bring other people into the conversation. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms, then on Letterboxd, and find, again, lots of great information on my website at cinephilemike.com. All right, everybody. Until tomorrow, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.